Alright, fuckers, welcome back to practicing artwod portrait roadmap. Something like that. I think that's my title. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Practicing portraits, an artwod roadmap. Alright, artwod is the best platform to study drawing from imagination, to learn drawing from imagination, because they break everything down into simple forms and they teach you exactly how to manipulate those forms. Dude, I'm so fucking tired. I wanted to draw and then I was charging my phone because obviously I need phone battery to draw. Yeah, draw along, draw along, draw along. Get off your fucking phone, get off your laptop, get off something. Actually, keep me on in the background. So don't get off it in the sense that don't leave it behind, but leave your lack of agency behind, please, and get your pen out, get your pencil out. Ideally pen because it builds confidence if you're not a pussy. Right? And I assume you are a pussy, so even more so you need your pen because I was a pussy and I used pen starting art. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I just wanted to insult you, so hopefully you felt offended. Anyways, if you didn't, I'll try harder. Right? Emphasis on the hard, but I have no idea where I'm going with any of this. Bro, I'm so fucking tired. I took a nap because I was waiting for my phone to charge. I didn't even mean to take a nap. I was just closing my eyes. Lo and behold, I woke up extremely groggy because I set an alarm for 30 minutes or a timer for 30 minutes because I fucking knew that I might just doze off. But while I waited for my phone to charge because I was just resting. But either way, my brain is clearly not in the mode right now to draw, and that's why I'm gonna do it. Unfortunately, because I lost around like 45 minutes an hour, I'm not gonna be able to do my second hour of drawing today, right? So it'll just be an hour of drawing and an hour of piano for the end of the day. It's 11 p.m. right now because everything's like at night now. I've shifted my schedule around a bit, so all my work, like coding, and what's it called? Like job applications and gymming is the first half of the day, and eating is like the first 8 or 7 hours of the day, right? And then the last 3 to 4 hours is like stretching. Oh, drawing, piano, and stretching. Anyways, fucking draw along, draw along. What am I doing? I'm looking at a goddamn portrait. I'm putting it in a box. I'm putting it inside a sphere inside a box. I'm putting vertical and horizontal center lines inside the sphere inside the box. I'm trying to hold that projection, bring it over to the page, and then I'm gonna draw it, right? And then add features like general features just as placeholders, like markers, I guess, to reinforce my understanding of them existing as features on a 3D form, and then I will be holding that box, sphere, and the contour lines all within the 3 layers of perspective, and I'll be drawing a mask over it, a helmet over it, and I'm just trying to understand and practice, hard surface design, helmet design, all that stuff. Anyways, draw along, stop fucking wasting my time, god damn it. By the way, when I'm talking, I am also drawing. You might be like, he's not doing shit, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of fucking box this dickhead's face is in. Right, a very attractive man, but a dickhead nonetheless. Let's see if Pinterest tells us who this is. The only comment is this dot 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 Hank's friend? So I have no idea what the fuck that means. So thank you for the lack of context, dipshit commenter, but that's Pinterest for you. It is really hard to tell the orientation of faces when you try to put them inside a 3D space. Genuinely. Okay, I think we're looking slightly above. Yeah, we're looking slightly above at this guy's face. Okay, let's draw the sphere. This is actually the opposite of this one, where it's a very slight top angle. So visualizing that's actually very difficult. It's very difficult. So like that's why I'm ghosting right now, right? The super slight. Um yeah, the super slight top perspective of the box. But either way, let's put a sphere inside of it. I'm gonna try to make my goddamn spheres a bit smaller. I say that as I make it equally as large as the other ones. Well, at least my proportions are consistent. Even if my line work is ass. Right? I definitely need to make these helmets smaller. It started off good, right? These are like a good size, I'd say. Like this was good, this was good, this was good. These are all actually pretty decent. This became gargantuan, and for some reason these are fucking huge. So that's just on me. That's purely because I can't visualize, right? It's all because I can't visualize. You know, if there's ever a lesson to be had, it's just stop being shit, right? So try to internalize that as I continue to try to stop being shit. But anyways, very subtle box. Again, box, sphere inside the box, center lines, horizontal and vertical, inside the sphere, inside the box, right? And this is where I'm gonna have to keep telling myself and asking myself, am I in extreme cognitive discomfort? And many, many, many times the answer will be no, and that's when I can essentially try to fix that, right? try being the operative word. Um, let's see. See, like even then, that line work could have been better, and I think that's accurate. But now, like this is where I'm really struggling because I'm trying to understand this partial ellipse I drew. Right, it is a form. It is an ellipse that's being followed through on the form of this sphere. So now I have to think like if that's following the perspective of the box that I established, that the sphere is contained inside. Right, so if this sounds very difficult, it fucking is. It's extremely fucking difficult, especially because I'm talking while doing it. Right, I know I'm a broken record. I know I say the same shit over and over, but I'd like to believe that these are good reminders for, if not now, then in the future when I'm great. Right, 5, 10, whatever fucking years from now, I'll just keep offsetting it. When I'm 35, I'll be like, yes, 5, 10 years from now. When I'm 50, I'll be like, oh guys, trust me, 5, 10 years from now. But yeah, whatever. The point is when I'm great, or when I've achieved a level of skill that is admirable to the general populace, especially those looking to learn how to draw, right, and have the skills that I will have attained, which is excellent draftsmanship abilities and drawing for imagination, right, large visual library, blah, 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 like really good perspective skills, whatever. People will be referring to these, I assume. Right, I assume people will be referring to my first 500 videos, i.e. my first 500 hours on the channel, my first 1,000, whatever, right? So I feel as if it is good practice to consistently remind those of you in 2030, 2035, right? It's 2026 right now, January 7th or 8th, I believe, right? But I think it's good practice to inform you exactly what I'm thinking as much as I can. Because I do want to inform you what I'm thinking as much as I can, right? And right now, what am I thinking? Well, I'm trying to think like, okay, like this is what I believe the perspective is, right? This really mild top side of the box. So you can see like this is the ellipse that I have to kind of draw, right? Like this very subtle, and this specifically from this point to this point. So that's a very subtle curve, right? Is it accurate? We'll have to see. And again, I'm trying to think like, okay, well, before I even put this down, I need to make sure this makes sense, right? So if that's how it is, yeah, okay, I see it now. Oh, okay, so this is where the minor axis. This is the vertical is okay. So the fuck no, I dropped the cap. God damn it. Yeah, okay. I've finally understood it. I think that the vertical center line is the minor axis of the box. Okay, if we're looking at it from this perspective, that makes a lot of sense, right? And then this one, let's see. Very subtle. And this is why I need to obviously extend my finger back, because I need obviously fine motor control. There you go. And obviously when I say I need fine motor control, it doesn't mean I'll be able to accomplish it, but that was a mistake. And a beautiful mistake it was. And that's why I love drawing, because it's all about mistakes, right? If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. If you're not trying extremely hard to not make mistakes, and you're still making mistakes, you're not learning. That's what I mean. Like, that's what I always mean is when I say make mistakes, I don't mean seek out intentional mistakes. I mean seek out unintentional mistakes, if that makes sense. Like, do your best not to make mistakes, but you will, because you don't have the skill to not make mistakes of the caliber that you don't want to make yet, right? Like, you don't have the skill to not make those mistakes. But that's the types of mistakes that you should be seeking out. That's the way I understand the concept of make mistakes, at least, right? Like, we want to intentionally make as many mistakes as possible while trying to the best of our ability not to make those mistakes. Does that make sense? This is way too large. I made that way too large. So that's a fuck up. Which is another mistake, right? I didn't have, and in this case, maybe it wasn't even a skill issue. It was likely just a patience issue, right? I wasn't patient enough, and I did not observe enough. And again, like even now while I do this, am I in extreme discomfort? No. So we need to go back to thinking about that box, right? And it's extremely difficult because I don't think about subtle, this is why I like portraits as well, right? Like, I don't think about subtle boxes like this. I'm not gonna complete this to the top because clearly this is too large anyways. It should have been more something like that, right? And even that's too large. And again, like, the line work is fucking horrendous. So that's another mistake. And these are all things to feel good about. right? But anyways, let's see. This individual, this guy right here, he has succulent lips. Very, very, very nice lips. Ohana means I want these lips inside my tongue and upside my bum bum. Come on, Stitch. You can't be saying shit like that. Shut up! I want this inside me. Okay, whatever. Really bad lines. um. Okay, it's fine. I mean, I'm really struggling to see that box right now. Like this type of subtle ass box, right? Like this type of box. See, like this is what I'm actually struggling to see. Like the extremely subtle nature of this top plane, right? Like this right here. Visualizing that is an extreme struggle. And this curve at the back maybe could have been a bit more, but okay, now we are going to rest our brain, right? Yeah, I'm gonna rest my brain and then I'm going to draw a helmet while trying to hold this box, sphere, contour, center lines in my head on the page, whatever, like however I visualize, right? Oh, by the way, I wanted to say, like, for those of you drawing along, you're not obligated to do it how I'm doing it, in the sense of like drawing like a helmet and stuff. You can just do this basic practice of the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center vertical and horizontal lines inside the box while referring to a reference, like multiple different references, and drawing it with, like, and drawing these, right? I'm doing this because obviously I like to really push my spatial reasoning, and I'm specifically really enamored by hard surface design, right? That doesn't mean I don't encourage you to try it and to really push forward and to do it along with me, but if you feel intimidated by that, you can still do the very difficult basic version, because this is still very difficult. I'm just doing an even more difficult version on top of that, right? But like at the end of the day, constantly thinking about spatial reasoning is your biggest return on investment either way. So as long as you're really focusing on that, I think you're fine. I think you're Gucci. But yeah, I'm not stopping you from doing what I'm doing or drawing along in the way I am, but I'm encouraging you to practice the. This is the artwod method, by the way. The artwod method, by the way. Like this isn't me. The only thing I've quote unquote come up with is just, hey, let me just put a helmet over it or hard surface element over it, because I want to practice my form wrapping and holding a shape in my mind. And like really intense perspective and spatial reasoning practice. But this right here, like looking at a reference and then putting it and then turning into a sphere with center lines, right? And then thinking about the box, thinking about the sphere inside the box, thinking about the center lines. That's all artwod. That's literally all artwod. That's literally part of their portrait roadmap. I'm only on the second section of or the second lesson of the first section, right? And the second exercise of the second section, whatever the fuck. But like I'm very, very, very early on. Like expect this to be my entire year of slowly making my way through it, which is why I even created the 50 rep rule for myself. But yeah, like this isn't my teaching methods. I'm literally just a fucking sheep. I'm just following what they tell me because I don't want to think on what to do. I just want to think when I'm doing it, right? So they tell me what to do and I just think while I do it. And I think that's a pretty simple way to go about it. Hard, yes, right? Girthy, even more so. But simple, quite. Easy, no. Words being said, I will shut the fuck up and rest my brain. Join me. Okay. Alright, let's try to envision that perfect cube again, right? Super fucking difficult, man. I mean, I just think I'm at that point in my art practice right now where it seems like, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Except personally, I think anybody who's been through any sort of artistic journey knows that it's actually 10 steps back. But that's how it feels, right? That's just how it feels. Does that mean that's how it is? Possibly not, but that's how it feels, right? Like, am I wrong to state that it genuinely does feel like. And actually, like, for once, if you fuckers who actually watch my or listen to my content are to this point, I would genuinely appreciate if you fucking commented, right? Mostly because I have a hard on for comments, and just getting attention on my channel. But apart from that, blatant narcissism, yeah, like, let me know, like, how your artistic journey feels, right? Like, I'm pretty sure there's a very common feeling in the art journey, which is, yeah, it's a fucking, it's a struggle, right? You're just, you feel like you're doing good, and then you're like, oh wait, I guess I'll go fuck myself because it's actually not as good as you thought, right? So I think that's just part of it. Like, I genuinely think that's just part of it, and it's something that we have to kind of train ourselves to essentially be okay with, right? Because how are we gonna constantly be in this perpetual state of, oh, I'm learning, oh, I'm not learning, oh, I'm learning, oh, I'm not learning, oh, never mind, like I feel like I'm getting, oh, never mind, it was just garbage, right? Like, it's probably not the healthiest either to be in that state all the time, right? Okay, I'm just trying to think about some sort of design thing I could do, you know, because obviously I do have to design. And again, I am thinking about the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center lines inside the sphere inside the box, right? Like, it's, and obviously I have to keep proportion in mind as well. So it's really, really, really hard. Like, I mean that, like, it's extremely difficult, right? So, and I'm really struggling to seeing the top part of this box. Let's see, something like maybe I could do something like this. I'm just thinking. Okay, so sorry. I'll try to explain because I know I hate the vagueness, and trust me, I understand. Like, I really dislike vague explanations and teachings. But I would like to preface again that I'm thinking, right? So it's very difficult to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it, especially because I'm no by no means advanced in anything, nor even intermediate in anything, right? So like all of this takes a tremendous amount of energy. But what I'm thinking is there's like some earpiece mechanical thing attached. This is obviously like this is the center line that I'm thinking of, right? This is the entire sphere that I'm trying to hold, this general proportion of the sphere. I'm thinking like this little earpiece, or whatever the fuck this is, right, has an attachment, maybe some sort of metal attachment that will be connected like so, right? And maybe it'll be connected to what is now going to establish the center line, the vertical center line, right? And what is this? Well, I don't know what this is yet, but just having some sort of indication is still very helpful, right? And this way I can close off this part of the sphere, right? Like maybe this will be like some headband attachment, maybe this will be something else. I don't know yet, and I'm okay with not knowing right now for the time being, right? But that's what I'm thinking of, if that helps, right? If that, even that really shit description helps, because I understand, like I know I'm not giving the best explanations, and I do apologize, right? Like I genuinely do apologize, but fucking understand that I'm dying. Like, please fucking understand that I'm struggling, man. Why did my voice get so nice? Like, fucking understand that I'm dying. That's what I sound like, apparently, right? So, and also, like, I'm trying to think about shape design. Don't forget, like, I'm designing on top of a fucking box of sphere and center lines inside of it. So, it is extremely difficult, right? Genuinely extremely difficult. And, I mean, I know, like, that's where growth occurs. Like, obviously, I'm well aware, right? Yes, 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 we all grow when things are difficult. You know, and then we sing Kumbaya and everybody's all happy and shit, but let's not forget there's a human being inside this kumbaya, right? We cannot kumbaya by ourselves. Okay. Now is that gonna turn into something? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Right. Well, it's better than what my shit used to be, which was ass. Now it's just musky, right? It's not really ass. It's more unsightly. Am I in extreme discomfort? No, I could be in more. Obviously, I could always be in more. Right, I'm well aware I could be in more discomfort. Just trying to think as to what this shape could be. Because I like, obviously, a way that I could be in more discomfort is through visualizing the box again, which is what I'm trying to do, right? Like, which is what I'm trying, emphasis on trying to do. And then obviously I'm trying to think about like attachments and stuff, right? So maybe that's an attachment. Wait. Okay, so that maybe that's an attachment there. And maybe we are actually like jutting out here, and this is some sort of visor. Like that, right? It's okay. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely much better than whatever bullshit I've ever done before. Right? Complete the sphere. Okay, see, like this is what happens. I'm taking my time. I feel as if this is definitely a lot better than whatever I've been doing prior. And then I want to like think about something that's possibly attaching here. And this is where like I want to practice having some sort of interesting shape design. So I know just from my own aesthetic preferences that like I want something to jut out, right? And I like diagonals, I do. And maybe we can make this diagonal. And again, like, because this is the box that I'm thinking about, right? So something like that. And maybe this diagonal can even have more diagonals that comes in. So this is how I think about it, right? It's like, okay, like what if, you see, like hopefully me just kind of postulating, verbalizing my thought process, right? Like it's a bit clear that I'm just kind of going like, maybe I have something that juts out like this, and then the other part of, and then like the plane, you know, this part of the plane juts out like this, and oh, maybe like this part of the plane actually juts out a bit further back. Like as you can see, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And yes, the skill of being able to manipulate a box to this extent and having different parts of the plane jutting out and being able to rationalize and calculate those angles by putting them inside boxes in the first place and really visualizing. And as you can see, I'm like making markers and calculating. Those are skills. Those are very important skills, right? So, yeehaw, as the youngins say. Right? Ye fucking haw. But obviously I want to it's okay, like this was supposed to be something more, I think, but it ended up not being anything. And again, like you can see I still fuck up my lines. I still kind of like lack of confidence and shit, but I'm trying, right? I'm really trying. So it's like, how can this be connected? Well, it doesn't really have to be connected, I don't think. I can actually do something like this. Make it a bit more subtle. There you go. A little too subtle there, but you know, it's what it is. And then, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to think how to not fuck this up. Okay, let's think. We've established some sort of plane here. Okay, this is like where the logic and like really trying to spatially reason how this could be something that makes sense comes about. Something like that. There you go. Maybe something like that. I don't know what that should be, but we'll just kind of leave it as it is. Right, again, like it's all what ifs. This is where I'm actually making a lot of mistakes, and you know, for better or for worse, I can't really help it. in this context, because I'm still figuring things out. Right, so how should this all be attached is the real question. Yeah, maybe I should follow that little design language. Not that it really makes much sense, I guess, but hey, whatever, like, it's what it is. And maybe I can have some sort of outline. Like that. Right? Who knows? We'll leave that. And then okay, like now how is this gonna be jutting out or jutting in or whatever the fuck? Right, what am I doing here? Because we've basically gotten the sphere down, now we just need to complete it, right? Maybe something like well, I actually didn't even think this would be something like that, but it kind of ended up working out. Need something like that here. So maybe that's coming out a bit too wide, but there you go. Right, and I don't think it's anything incredible, to be honest. Like genuinely, it's kind of meh, but I think this definitely has way more logic than whatever my other drawings were. Right, whatever logic this has is, I think, a bit more than my other ones. And I definitely think it follows a perspective decently. Right. We can even add, there you go, little perspective lines like that. Right. That maybe that actually probably fucked it up a little. But and then what can I do here? It's like this kind of seems a bit empty, right? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, I guess we'll complete it. Kind of looks meh. I mean, I think I had a good idea going here. I think I actually lost the perspective a decent amount. Because if I were to... Yeah, I think I lost the perspective a decent amount. Like with this other side, because the other side's always very difficult to figure out, right? And I always have trouble with this bottom side too, but either way, that was good. That was really good practice. And I think again, like, I'm really trying to think about how can I start wrapping shapes around other shapes, right? Like, how can I start doing that? And trying to figure that out. Like, trying to think about big shapes being wrapped around other big, like around the sphere, I guess you could say. But it's not bad. I think it's okay. Anyways, let me rest my brain. Right, it's been half an hour. Cool. Let me rest, and then I'll be back. I encourage you to do so as well. Let me find a new reference actually in the meantime. Let's see. Okay, this should be pretty interesting because this girl's face is kind of tilted a little bit, and she is looking at us, but voice crack. She is looking at us, but yeah, the fucking. Okay, yeah, I think it's an okay reference. Pretty difficult. Okay, let me rest my brain. Yeah, I think this definitely was okay. This one, but it's clear that I wasn't thinking that much near the end of it, right? Very clear to me that I wasn't thinking that much near the end of it. Like, what is this? Like, seriously, what is this? Like maybe that would have been better, right? But it's just, I don't know. It's difficult. And I'm not gonna give myself too much shit because I know just half a year ago I wouldn't have been able to even come close to designing something like this in terms of a helmet or whatever, right? So, you know, gotta take it one step at a time. Okay, so this box that I see, I'd like to believe, I can't see her ear actually. And I think we're seeing, are we seeing the top of her face or the bottom of her face? This is the thing, when people have fucking sharp ass jawlines, bro, I can't tell. I can't tell whether we're seeing the top or the bottom. I'm gonna assume we're seeing just well, it's her looking straight at us, but I'm gonna assume there's a little bit of the top of her face that's being seen. I mean, this is always good practice, right? This is fucking, let me zoom in. I hate Pinterest. Pinterest as a fucking user experience is so garbage. Like, why can't I zoom in on this fucking picture? Okay, now when I click on it, that changes everything. You fucking retarded ass app. Anyways. Oh, why hire me, Pinterest? I'm seriously, I'm unemployed. I need a UX design job. Probably the worst fucking time to end up having. I mean, I was employed for 2 years, but as far as LinkedIn knows, I'm currently still employed. As far as my future employers know, I'm currently still employed. Fuck having to explain a gap. Am I right, boys and girls? Right? But anyways, so her face is tilted, so the box is tilted, that much I can see. But what type of box is it? Now this is very difficult because I'm looking at the reference right now. I know I'm talking and everything, but I'm looking at the reference, I'm trying to project a box in an accurate perspective on her face, and I'm using again the eyes and the ears as my guideline, right? Their orientation in relation to each other. I do believe we're seeing a little, okay, because we can't see the top of her forehead. Like, this is the thing with faces, right? A lot of the times when we're walking around, we can see the fucking tops of people's head. Does that mean we're looking at them from the top? No, but we can still see the top of their heads, right? By proxy of their head essentially being a fucking sphere. So it's why faces are extremely difficult. Genuinely, I understand why this shit is so hard, right? Because I'm going through it right now. I'm going through it right now. It's really hard to understand the orientation. And that's me after doing like fucking 3 years of intense perspective practice, even now, right? It's really hard to tell. So, oh, and this is off. I just realized this is completely off center. Yeah, this is off center. Yeah, there you go. That's also why this looks off. It's off center. And obviously this shape that I did is pretty mediocre. Like, I had a good idea with the jutting out angles and stuff, but then I didn't turn it into anything interesting or like connection wise. Like, it just doesn't read like a pleasing shape, right? But there you go. See, I can see that now. I couldn't see it before, but this is kind of why it's good to look at it again, because this, yeah, like the center shit is way off. It should be like around here somewhere, right? Closer to there. Yeah, but anyways, back to the actual. Okay, so this girl, her vertical center line inside the sphere, which is inside the box. Yeah, this is also a very subtle box, and it's like this. Like, it's oriented like that. Right? Actually, it might even be something like this. Well, that's fucking too much convergence, but I hope you understand the point I'm trying to make, because like this is kind of what it's oriented like, seemingly, right? And this is what I see her eyes and her ears as, but I don't think it's that intense. Well, as I draw the sphere, I'll try to figure it out. I think it's actually more like this. Like, it's more narrow because we're seeing the more of a front of her face. This is, I think, the box I need to visualize. Yeah, this is more accurate. Whether it's the most accurate, unsure, but yeah, that's actually definitely way more accurate. So let's visualize that type of box. And while I do that, let's draw the sphere, right? But yeah, as I was saying to my comment to those who are at this point, what I was basically asking is, yeah, like, do you also relate? And the answer is probably a resounding yes, because that's just how any sort of artistic experience goes, or learning experience goes. But do you feel like sometimes that it's just hard? Right? Do you feel like sometimes it's like you feel like you're just not learning, even though you know you're trying your fucking hardest to understand, and like you're really grinding your brain? I don't know, maybe I'm asking a very specific subset of people who actually try when they learn. What a fucking interesting concept, right? I know I shit on this stuff a lot, like I probably sound very condescending, but I'm telling you as someone who's literally bottom of the barrel, like I'm literally retarded, like I'm not smart. Like I'm just not smart. It takes me a long time to learn things. It takes me extreme cognitive effort to learn things. And either I'm not smart or I'm just average, right? And this is the average experience. But because the average has been bastardized by those of you who have stopped trying, right? The general populace who is constantly addicted to short form content, constantly addicted to their phones, constantly unable to put effort into anything. This maybe makes me seem above average, quote unquote. But what I'm basically saying is I'm better. Pee pee poo poo. No. What I'm basically saying is, like, for those of you who actually try when you learn, who like actually try and like put continuous concentrated effort, like, you know, where I'm right now, I'm just like, am I in extreme discomfort? The answer is no. Okay, let's go back and try to be in extreme discomfort, right? So for those of you in that point, you know, who actually try to be in as much discomfort as possible, who have taken the self-improvement pill, as they say, right? And are like, wow, I can actually improve myself and get better at things that I give a shit about in my life, and I can consistently do that. Incredible. What a fucking unique concept. For those of you who have actually give a shit about getting better and put in a lot of effort, it's hard, isn't it? It's you have your phases, I assume. If you're like me, you probably have many moments of like, fuck yeah, just keep trying, keep putting in effort. And then you have moments of like, well, I feel like shit, but I have to keep trying, putting in effort either way. And those are the moments you perhaps doubt yourself. Like, how do you experience it? Right, and for those of you who I guess was shitting on, being like, "Oh, you're short form addicted." By the way, I'm not saying you're never gonna be able to do what I can do, and by the way, what I can do, I don't find to be very impressive. Again, I still believe I'm very average, below average, to be honest. Right? It's just that whole saying is like it's never been easier to be exceptional because everybody's a fucking loser, right? Which I was too up until 3 years ago. Don't forget, or if you don't know, I was a complete fucking loser. I smoked weed all the time for literally almost 8 years of my life. Wasted away my early years of development from 17 to 25, 17 to 24. Then the age of 25 is actually when I started having interests in things outside of my own fucking dick, literally, because I used to fucking play video games, jack off, smoke weed. The quintessential modern male experience, right? So if you feel heard, if you feel seen, like, subscribe, and watch every video. But do draw along, right? But anyways, let's see. I think this is also a very subtle curve. Again, it's a very subtle box. I have to keep reminding myself it's very subtle. I think this is okay. It's not. It's okay. It's okay. We are seeing a little bit of the top of her head. Okay, this is fine. I think this makes relative sense. Right. Everybody has such different features. That's the thing. Like, I know yesterday I was like, oh, basic template white girls, I can't tell the difference. And then I went on a little, not a tirade, but I just went on a little discussion about how attractive features are basically all the same, homogeneously throughout races, right? So attractive features in one race, like, yeah, like strong chin, strong jaw, facial symmetry, but then, like, you know, racial disparities such as like a wider nose bridge or a flatter nose, or a larger nose bridge, or wider lips, or thinner lips. Like, those are the differences that are pretty consistent, as a like on a race wide scale, right? But then even then, like this is a hashtag white girl who likes her Starbucks, most likely, right? Am I profiling her? Good, as it should be. I said as it should be, for those who couldn't understand my incredibly, what the fuck, incredibly impressive deep voice. But whatever. Anyways, this fucking girl right here, she has really interesting lips, right? Almost like pixie lips. And again, like, I'm trying to obviously place generally features to understand. I'm excited for when I start drawing fat people. Then I can actually start getting good folds down. And then I can start fat shaming, and we'll see how YouTube handles that. It's okay, guys. I have a fat friend, and I shame him all the time. Therefore, I get the pass, right? Isn't that how it works? Anyways, let's see. Okay, I think I'm okay with these features. Again, I end up making the left eye. I end up making the eye closer to me a lot bigger, so I need to work on that, right? And this just comes down to my understanding of proportions, which is clearly subpar, right? So that's fine. And yeah, like this isn't the main practice of me fucking drawing these pupils or whatever, but it's a really important practice in general when it just comes to understanding the face, right? And I'm actually very, very happy I'm taking my time with this shit because, like, it's fucking hard, bro. And again, like, how do I tell whether a nose bridge is coming out or not? You know, that just comes down to understanding the form that it resides in. Right, and like I don't really like I understand conceptually, like noses, I understand them conceptually. Right, like I know I've seen Artwad's videos, right? Oh, the nose is just you know, like a fucking diagonal box, some shit like that, and then it's a sphere here, and then it's like a curved box inside of it. We like yeah, sure, whatever. I understand it. I can I'm like not even thinking at all when I draw that, and I'm half-assing it. But like yeah, okay, he does understand the form, but do I understand it like in terms of different types of noses and how they can be manipulated and changed? No, and I don't intend to until and like I don't intend to right now. I intend to just take my time and really just be patient, right? And art is all about patience and observation. And you might be wondering, I know, like I was too, like how do you exactly enact patience when it comes to drawing, right? Well, patience is just here's how I describe it. Alex Hormozy describes it as just finding something to do in the meantime, which I think is a fine definition, right? I describe patience in a very similar manner, but in regards to art, it's like, well, just focusing on the thing that you're trying to do and really, really, really trying to do it as well as you can and within the time period that you allow yourself. So for me, I allow myself like this, okay, the speed that I'm operating at right now is not the speed I was operating at when I first started. Like I used to draw even slower. I used to be like that for a line, but now I'm like this. Would you look at that? It's a fucking 20% improvement. Wow, you probably couldn't tell at all, right? But that's for me the I guess the patience is how I think about it. Is just do the best you can and focus on the task at hand. Right? Like, yes, I want to draw incredibly detailed faces. Yes, I want to like fucking draw scenes for imagination. Yes, I want to be Kim Jong-il. Yes, I want to be Peter Han. Yes, I want to be Karl Kopinski. Blah 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 blah. But more than anything, let's go back to what we're doing right now and like yes, I just want to try my hardest and learn. And like okay, no, I wasn't in extreme cognitive discomfort. I wasn't right now, right? I wasn't thinking about the box. I wasn't thinking about the sphere inside the box. So there you go. That's a mistake. That's a repetition mistake, which now I feel good about. It's like okay, that's an error, right? And then now I'm gonna try again. And now we're gonna do the mask or the helmet inside of it, right? But before I continue, because I didn't do that enough, I'm just gonna stare at this and really, really, really try visualizing the box. The box, the box, right? Really try visualizing the box that this is comprised inside, right? The sphere that is inside the center lines and like how it all makes sense to me. Like genuinely, oh, like, and it's so difficult right now. I know you see nothing. I obviously because I'm not drawing right now, but I'm thinking, and drawing is thinking. Okay, lest we forget, you know, drawing is thinking. All right, like your motor skills are genuinely only 30% of it, but the thoughts, the thoughts you imprint onto the page and the problems you solve while thinking, they are the drawing process, right? And I don't think I'm ever gonna change that opinion as I get better, right? I don't think I will. It just doesn't make sense to change that opinion because that's literally what's gotten me to this point. It's probably just going to be a more nuanced and fucking more complex version of like drawing is thinking, but now I'm thinking about 18 different things involving perspective and 25 different things involving design and 10 different things involving line quality, and I'm just constantly juggling them in my mind, and about 80% of those things that I mentioned are actually intuitive now because I have 10 years of experience, right? So just the nuance, really. And that's actually one thing is like this is why I think every couple of years I'll just have to make a video like teaching things or explaining things or talking about specific parts of the drawing process which are starting to become intuitive for me. So that's why I put out that this is a video for beginner artists. You are not alone, right? The first 2 years, countless pages of failures, whatever the fuck, right? Because I was starting to forget all the work I did and how it felt doing that work. So now that's immortalized and beginners know exactly what I did and how I felt and what I worked on. Literally what I worked on the first 2 years. Like it's all there. Don't ever fucking ask me what did you do in the first 2 years or like what did you practice to get this good. Don't ever fucking goddamn ask me that question again, okay? There's a video on my channel called "This is a video for beginner artists," in brackets, you are not alone. right? The thumbnail is countless pages of failures. I might change it to the other one that I was A/B testing, which is the first 2 years, because I feel as if that one maybe is a bit more informative. But I like the failures one because it tells it to you straight, right? And there's two types of people. They're either the ones who see the word failure and they're like, oh, I don't want to watch this video, or they see failures, they're like, interesting, and he's saying it's for beginners. This might be relatable, right? Which is hopefully who I want to attract or whatever, right? But let's see, what is this? What is this box? I think I've gotten this box down. I mean, it was very uncomfortable, very difficult to think about it, but obviously, like, I'm gonna rest my brain and we're gonna go to the next step, which is thinking about that box and the sphere inside the box and the center lines, vertical and horizontal, inside that box, and then creating some sort of design out of it, right? But my rambling aside, please rest your brain with me. Alright, cool. Gucci the Gango, as they say. Gucci Gango. I don't know. That's like something I used to say. I was gonna say as a kid, but I was literally 21 and I'm 28 now, so that's not a kid. Yeah, very much younger, a youngin, I guess you could call myself back then, right? I guess I'm unk now. I don't really give a shit about those terms, but I will talk about it because it hurts my feelings. Watch me contradict myself. I'm just trying to make sure this pen has ink. By the way, what the fuck is going on? Isn't it working just fine? This thing run out of ink? Bruh. Okay, I think it's okay for now, but I'll probably have to change pens soon. Okay, so again, I'm in extreme discomfort, and I need to really be in discomfort, because this is a skill that I need to take with me to the grave, as they say, i.e., visualization, really strong visualization abilities. So, okay, so that's the sphere. Okay, so I did say last couple videos, that I wanted to start at the eye line. I think I kind of butchered that here, and this is why I struggled. I need to establish things that, like, I think the main thing, honestly, like, apart from just thinking about all the different things, which is the shapes and the types of shapes and how the shapes are connecting and what function the shapes will have and how are they wrapping around and like what type of design motif, fancy word, do I want it all to have, like, all that bullshit aside, and it isn't bullshit, by the way, but all that bullshit aside, right? I think, and I will go through many bouts of I think this blah blah blah. Like, I want anybody who's here at this point, if you're here, like, I want it to be very clear. This is very normal, I believe, in part of the learning journey, is like, we're always gonna be problem solving and postulating and inferring and being like, I think if I do it like this, that would be good. I think if I do it like that, that would be good. Maybe it should be like we'll be doing that until we fucking die, right? Until we just keep fucking going. But I mean, until we die, but we're gonna keep going. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. So that's what I'm like. All I know for sure is perspective is king. That form is king. Like, that's all I know for sure. And shapes are king, right? But like, now it just comes down to finding a process for myself that's like, how do I want things to make sense for me? Right? Like, how do I want it? Okay, I should establish an eye line of sorts, right? I think that's fair to say. I should establish an eye line of sorts. Well, first, let me keep thinking about that damn perspective, which is the box, the sphere, and the center lines. Now that I think I've gotten that down a little bit, right? Why don't I... And this is where things will diverge, right? But why don't I do something like that? I think at this point I've already created a little bit of a good this is like a really good marker for me, actually. This is a really good marker for me. We'll see if it actually ends up becoming a genuinely good marker or if I just think it's one, right? But for the time being, it's not bad, right? Yeah, for the time being, it's not bad at all. So now I just need to think in terms of, okay, well, this is clearly the center that I've established, right? And this is clearly the box. Like, I'm obviously thinking in terms of the box, right? That's fine. We have the sphere and the horizontal line. Now I need to think, okay, like, well, how do I want to connect all this? Do I want to do something like that? Right? And what could that even turn into? And before I make a decision, I need to really think this through. But I have generally, sorry, made a decision. What is this that I'm drawing? I'm thinking it's like a connection of sorts. It's gonna be something that's gonna be connecting things. And we just need to make sure that it's in perspective, because it has to be subtle. Never forget the subtlety. Subtlety is an art, right? Whether I have that art is a different question. The answer is no, I don't. I know that I don't, right? But I'm trying. And now, let's see. And we can make a connection like that. You know, like tiny lines. Probably doesn't make much sense to those watching. But to me, it also doesn't make sense, so we're fucked. Right? So now I think I can, before I continue any further, because I have to reorient myself and, okay, like, am I in extreme discomfort? No, so let's go back to the box. Oh, there you go. See, now I'm in extreme discomfort. Now I'm in extreme discomfort, right? So we go back to the box, we go back to the sphere inside the box, right? So here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm literally forcing myself to visualize, is this, by the way. I guess I can draw it now, that, like, so you know, and I'll keep, like, you'll see it over here as well, but these dotted lines are basically going to represent, like, what I'm forcing myself to see, right? And it's not going to be, like, the most accurate, proportionally, in terms of, like, what I'm specifically thinking of, but this is literally what I'm forcing myself to see. So this box, and then the sphere inside the box, and then the center lines, but, like, it's all here, right? If it makes any more sense, like, here you go, like this is why I say it has to be really subtle, because that's like the top, right, of the box. There you go. This is literally what I'm forcing myself to see, to visualize, right? Like, that's literally what I'm forcing myself to see. So every time when I draw this or when I draw this, that's what I'm forcing myself to really visualize. And I want to be very clear. Everybody has a different way of visualizing, right? Your way of visualizing and my way of visualizing are probably going to be pretty different, you know, because we're all unique snowflakes, right? We're all fucking buttfuck buddies when it comes to, what's it called, how special we are, right? So, you know, buttfuck it good is what I'd like to say. But anyways, let's see. I'm just trying to think, because obviously I want to establish perspective, but I also want to make sure that things make sense. So, and this is the part where I have to think about design, because now it's no longer just thinking about the sphere of the box, the contour lines, and all that stuff. It's about, okay, how am I going to design shapes around this, right? And, like, do I want this to be some sort of multiple rounded shape that maybe it's something like this? Right, and then I can do the same thing here. Now I've essentially, I'm not gonna use the word trapped, but I have limited myself now. And we're about to find out whether this limitation even makes sense, right? Like, we are about to genuinely find out whether this limitation really makes any sense. Because who knows if I thought far ahead enough. And I have a strong feeling, because I'm not Because I am in extreme discomfort, but am I in the right type of extreme discomfort as well, right? Like that's also important to note. I have a feeling that perhaps I have not. There you go, maybe something like this. Okay, and then I'm just trying to think. There you go, maybe something like that. Doesn't really work, but it doesn't really work at all, to be honest, but yeah, see this right here, this is just ass. Like what I've done here, this sort of form wrapping just is not good. But we're gonna allow it because it's all gone to shit, at least there. Yeah, it looks so bad. See, it always starts off good, but then my ability to make things connect fucks things up quite a bit. And again, I wasn't thinking here, right? So and again, I need to go back to being in extreme discomfort. And these lines are also very, very subpar. I'm wondering if there's any way to salvage, because this is so tiny now, but perhaps. Wait. I think I can salvage this. I should just think a little bit ahead. There you go. Something like this. Right? There you go. Maybe this will salvage it. Something connected like so. You know, shit lines aside. No, I didn't salvage it. I did not salvage it. It is not salvageable. It just didn't do what was required. But hold up. Okay, so I know that. And then it juts out. And then this thing comes from this side. Something like that. It just really doesn't make any sense. Like, I think I'm obviously not gonna lie to myself and be like, oh, look, it's so good. It really doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense, and I really did fuck a lot of things up, but... You know, we out here. This is the fucking, is that what gangsters say, right? Yeah, hood shit. Something like that. I'm part of the hood now. Didn't you know? I'm part of the hood now. But... Okay, and then... I'm still trying to be in extreme discomfort, but I feel like I've botched up as so much that it doesn't really make much sense anymore. This should have been further back. whatever. Let's just say it looks like that now. Oh, lines are so mediocre. Okay, let's see again. This is coming down, and then it comes out there, and then it comes out there. And then we have... It's supposed to come out like this, right? There you go, and then... What the fuck? Hold up. If that's like that... Yes, and then we need something that's... comes out like so... Something like that? Nah, I 100% fucked all of this up. I don't understand what I'm doing anymore. When in doubt, just add a giant, and I mean giant, ellipse, and be like, there it is. That's what I meant to do all along. Right? Wait, even that's off perspective. Fuck, let's change that. There you go. There you go. Ta-da! It was actually all part of the plan. I didn't completely lose the perspective multiple times and botch it up and not know how to design. You know, it's good. Like, actually, I'm proud of myself because, again, these are like this horrendous, this shit, this garbage, this everything. It's all fucking garbage, right? But this is literally where the learning is happening. There you go. See? And then it's like that on the other side as well, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it makes much sense. I do think I lost it completely. Like, literally completely I lost it. But it's all because of this. It's all because this thing, you know why? Because this isn't form wrapped correctly. It's too condensed. I didn't think about so the biggest issue, or one of the issues, I'm never gonna say biggest, but yeah, one big issue is like I'm not seeing the entire sphere enough, right? Sometimes I am, like over here, but in cases where I want to make it more complex, I'm getting too tunnel visioned on, yeah, the functionality, essentially, aspect of it. Which isn't good if you're trying to create something that makes sense. Right? There you go. We'll just leave it at that. Looks like shit. I feel as if there's good ideas here. There's definitely good ideas here, for sure. We don't want to discount the fact that, you know, there are ideas that may have worked and may not have worked, right? We don't want to disparage our creativity, I guess, if we even have any anymore. But whatever, we're gonna leave it. It's like over-designed as shit as well. And it's been an hour. Nice. But yeah, dude, that was really fucking really difficult. I lost the perspective multiple times. I lost everything multiple times, but I really did try. I can say that with sheer honesty that my brain was really hurting and I was extremely uncomfortable through a solid like 60 to 70% of my practice, closer to 70. I try to aim for 80 to 90, but I think that's just got to get back into it, right? But it's not bad. It's not bad. We're gonna keep trying, right? We're gonna keep trying to make sense of all of this and the sphere and the box and the contour lines. And yeah, we're only on rep 39, so I think like 3 more pages front and back of this, I should be at rep 50, and then we'll move on to the next exercise, which is you look at a reference and then you put a box. So that's actually gonna be a lot more helpful, right? It's not gonna be easier technically. It's gonna be a bit easier because obviously we're not thinking about a sphere inside of it. I think I still will just imprint a sphere because for my own sake, I think I'll still continue to visualize this, but we're only going to draw a box, and then I'll probably just draw like a manipulator box, trying to get the face down, like trying to actually get the face down now, right? Or maybe I'll still do helmets, who knows? Well, we'll see. But anyways, that's still like a couple of weeks away. So with that being said, I hope you put a lot of effort in. I hope you really tried. Hope you really did your best to enjoy the effort and to really push yourself past your comfort zone. And with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please, give me money.